I think that there are three kinds of inequality. One is economic inequality, inequality of income and wealth. And that's objectionable insofar as it is from the standpoint of fairness. And to decide what inequalities of income and wealth are justifiable and which ones not, we have to debate distributive justice. The second kind of inequality is of political voice, participation. And part of the problem of concentrated power, and we've touched on this, in vast corporations, is that they swamp democratic voice and participation. So that's a second kind of inequality. And with the system of campaign finance we have in the United States, that's almost guaranteed to be a persistent problem. There's a third kind of inequality that goes to this question of recognition and esteem that we've been discussing. And this is compounded by the way the economic inequality has played out in recent decades. One of the most corrosive effects on civic life of the growing economic inequality in recent decades is that it has led us to live separate lives. Those who are affluent and those of modest means increasingly live separate lives, don't encounter one another in the course of the day. We live and work and shop and play in separate places. We send our kids to different schools. This isn't good for democracy, because beyond the problem of concentrated power crowding out citizens' voice, it transforms the civic infrastructure of a shared common life. And so one of the most important things we need to do, I think, to contend with this kind of inequality is to build class-mixing institutions. And here I'm not talking mainly about governmental institutions, but public parks, recreation areas, a municipal swimming pool, public libraries, public transportation, sports stadia, the public schools, not only for the sake of publicly providing important services for people who couldn't otherwise afford them, that's the fairness issue, but for the sake of creating a common life. Democracy does not require perfect equality, but what it does require is that people from different social backgrounds, different economic classes, encounter one another, bump up against one another in the course of our everyday lives, because this is how we learn to negotiate and to abide our differences. And this is how we come to care for the common good.